Even right now, I feel like I'm talking a little bit fast. And this is not me making fun of you, Gina. You know I love you to death, and I do the same thing to you. What is up, my friends and family? Welcome back to another video. Today is going to be something that I don't think I've done before, but honestly, I've been on YouTube for like a year and a half almost now, and sometimes I forget because your girl is getting older. And I don't know if I've really done something like this before, but I do not think I have. Today we're just gonna be learning about words that are either spelled the same or sound the same but have different meanings. So words that sound the same but have different meanings, or maybe they're spelt the same but have different meanings, they're technically called homophones. So we are going to talk about homophones, but only one today, and that's the word click. But you can say click, and then you can say click, and then you can say click, and three different meanings. Actually, maybe another click, 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 four different clicks with four different meanings. So we're going to go over those today. So the first one, click, C-L-I-C-K, is often used to describe a brief, sharp sound or a sudden understanding. So that's two definitions in one there. So when you have a sudden understanding, when you're like, oh, okay, it clicks. In the last video I did, I mentioned this word and I gave you like a little sneak peek of what this word meant, but I promised to do another video. When I really thought about it, I was like, yo, click is a homophone with many different types of definitions. The word click, C-L-I-C-K. The first definition is the brief, sharp sound. Like you click your pen and that sound, ASMR, click. This sound is click. Again, ASMR. A mouse. Clicking the mouse, right? A sudden, sharp sound is a click. Well, it depends on the sound, but these are mainly the two. When you hear the word click and it's a sound, it's usually like this, all right? Click, something that clicks. Or a seatbelt. Your seatbelt clicks. We have that definition. That's definition number one, numero uno, the only Spanish I know. Definition number one for click is a sudden or sharp sound. Then I said it also means a sudden understanding. Did I say sudden or sharp sound? A brief, sharp sound. Then the second definition is a sudden understanding. When you're like, oh, okay. Suddenly you understand something. Maybe it was confusing. Like me looking at a math problem, I'm going to stare at that for like minimum 20 minutes and I'm not going to know what I'm looking at because math is hard. I don't like math and math doesn't really like me. I don't know why. We've never been friends. So when I'm looking at a math problem, I'm staring like for a good amount of time. And then sometimes I'm like, I know how to do this. And that sudden understanding where you're like, oh, okay, no, I know. That's called a click. When it clicks, you know, when you're like, oh, okay. So sometimes I have I have one best friend who talks really fast. And on top of that,
Gina, you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking to you.
I love you though, but she's my bestie and she talks really fast. But on top of that, a lot of times she speaks Konglish because we both speak Korean and we both speak English, and we speak a mixture of Konglish, like Korean and English. So sometimes she's speaking to me in Korean, sometimes she's speaking to me in English, sometimes it's at the same time, like same sentence, Konglish, right? But it's really fast. A lot of times I have to like use a different part of my brain that I didn't even know existed until I became friends with her to like focus on understanding what she's saying, because it's like Korean, English, Korean, English. And 5 seconds after she finishes, I'm like, oh, okay. And she's like, come on. And I'm like, I have to wait for it to click. Like I have to like, okay, translating, okay, ready, okay, boom, I understand. And it's partially because she speaks fast, but it's also partially because it's like two languages at the same time. And this is not me making fun of you, Gina. You know I love you to death, and I do the same thing to you. Even right now, I feel like I'm talking a little bit fast. And this is not me making fun of you, Gina. You know I love you to death, and I do the same thing to you. Maybe because I'm thinking about Gina and because I'm thinking about her, I'm just like talking fast because I'm used to talking fast when I'm around her. Sometimes I have to pause and I'm like, wait, what? And then it clicks and I'm like, oh, okay. Now I had that sudden understanding, you know, when something clicks, you're like, oh, okay, now I get it. So we have that, the first definition, the second definition, the third definition, which technically I couldn't find this online, but I know that we use it, all right? And maybe it's a slang, I don't know. But when you and somebody just immediately you just like become BFFs, or like you immediately just gravitate towards someone, and maybe it's somebody that you met randomly, but like you feel like this is my person. We also can say that you clicked with them. You clicked really well. Story time, which I might have shared this story before. I don't know. But when I first met my husband on the very first date, that's a funny story in and of itself. He actually forgot his wallet, and I was like, bruh, really? But then I paid.
Yeah, boy. Lovely.
Because that's what I do. And honestly, we just got like coffee or whatever, so it wasn't anything. I was like, I can afford a $6 coffee, which $6 coffee. This is the world we're living in, even like 7 years ago. But I was like, I can afford this coffee. Like, you don't have to worry. That was like a sidebar. Anywho, we were just drinking our coffee, talking, and immediately I gravitated towards this person. And, I was like kind of apprehensive because I was like, I don't really know if I want to date. Like, I don't know if I want to go down this road because I was recently divorced. So I was like, should I? But then I was like, this dude is cool. Like, we immediately clicked. Like, we had a lot of similarities and things that we enjoyed to do, like hobbies. And it's just like, I clicked with him. I gravitated towards him. I was like, wow, this is a cool person. And then look at us now, like 7 years later. Oh, how things happen, When you click with someone, you can also use the term click when you just kind of gravitate towards someone. I keep on saying the word gravitate towards someone, but I don't know how to explain it. Like, you immediately just have a connection with someone. Maybe it's somebody you never met before, and then boom, you guys get along really well, and you're like, oh, we click easily. I also have a friend that I recently met. Like I've been talking to her on Instagram for a while, and then we finally decided to take it out of the chat and meet in real life. And we met, and we are like the same person. Like, we are very similar. So we clicked, and we went shopping yesterday, and I got like a bunch of Christmas decorations for my house. I might have spent too much money, but like, we like the same things, the same colors. We like, when we were shopping, like, we have similar taste and style. Our personalities are the same. We both are like fun, quirky extroverts, but then also we have anxiety that, and like weird things happen to us. It was just like, we were like, wow, we're really similar. We clicked like right off the bat, click. So we have 3 definitions now of click, all with the same spelling. Click, C-L-I-C-K. Those 3 definitions, same spelling, click. C-L-I-C-K. Again, just to reiterate, the definition for the first one is a brief, sharp sound. The second definition, a sudden understanding. And then the third is like when you and somebody else have like similar interests and you like gravitate towards that person, you're drawn towards that person, and you automatically just like click. You hit it off. You are BFFs from the start. All right. The next and final definition for the word click actually has a different spelling. It's still a homophone because it still has the same pronunciation. It's all click, but the spelling is C-L-I-Q-U-E. C-L-I-Q-U-E, all right? Click. And this is a small, exclusive group of individuals who often share common interest or characteristics, typically to the exclusion of others. So cliques like this are commonly seen in social settings or places like different organizations or schools. So when you have a clique, when somebody says you have a clique, it's like, clique is just a small group of individuals or of people that those people within that group, they all share similar interest. Like when you're in school, think about movies, and you watch a movie and there's a school, like there's a high school, and they're in the cafeteria, and you see the band people, and you see the cheerleaders, and you see the football team, and they're all huddled up at different tables. They're not talking to each other. They're just, the band people are over here, cheerleaders are over there, the football team's over there. Then you have like the science nerds over here, like they're all in their little cliques. So typically when you use the word clique, it's like different little groups of people, but those people all have similar interests. The band people, their similar interest is band, and then the cheerleaders is cheer, the football team is football, and like that, and they exclude others. Clique isn't necessarily a bad thing, but a lot of times it's used when you're like, oh, you have your little clique, you're not gonna let anybody in, It's used in a way where people are like, they're in their own little clique, and they don't really allow people from the outside world to go in. So it's kind of used in a negative way at times, but it's not necessarily a negative word. It doesn't have any negative connotation to it. Clique, C-L-I-Q-U-E. E. All right. It's also synonymous with the word posse. Like you have like your posse, you know, your group of people that you're like cool with, and you have this similar interest or whatever, your clique or your posse. So switching it up today, we're going to actually give a list here on the screen. You're going to see a list come up of example sentences, just so it's easier, because you know you have to kind of see in context. So up here, the first definition, which means a brief sound, click. An example sentence is, I kept hearing a pen click during my test. I kept hearing a pen click during my test. Second example sentence using the definition sudden understanding is, it finally clicked when I watched the tutorial video. It finally clicked when I watched the tutorial video. Clicked. The third example sentence using the definition of clique, that means people who share similar interests. You know, when you interact with somebody and you just click with somebody who shares similar interests with you, that definition is, she and I immediately clicked. She and I immediately clicked. And then the final one, CLIQUE, with a definition of the small exclusive group of individuals, you know? The school cafeteria is divided up by many cliques. The school cafeteria is divided up by many cliques. So I hope you guys have a better understanding of today's vocabulary words, the homophones. Click, 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 click. Hopefully you guys have a better understanding. If you do, please like, comment, and subscribe. Please let me know in the comments what you would like to see from me. I have a list of ideas, but I'm only human, and I need your help sometimes to give me ideas of what you'd like to see. So please let me know in the comments below, and I hope to see you all in the next video.